didn't start the YouTube stream. God damn it.
Roger. Everyone, we're going back to the gate.
Alright, put it back at the gate. Let me make sure this is actually live. YouTube, I'm very sorry.
Okay, no one uses YouTube anyway.
Is this working? Okay. Sorry. Alright, I'll sit here and hold short for a second. Let people get in here. I'm sorry. Hydra, I see you there. I'm sorry. Now is probably not the time to address the elephant in the room again, is it?
It is. Ladies and gentlemen,
we'll chat and cruise. The APU turned off. YouTube, can you see the stream? Let me know. I'm sorry. Airport you're flying to is now a housing development? Dang. I'm sorry, YouTube. I'm sorry. Blame YouTube for giving me a copyright strike. It's YouTube's fault. I was waiting for the stream to start 40 minutes ago. I'm so sorry. At least you said something. I'm so glad you said something, Hydra, because I would not have noticed. I am so sorry. New airport doesn't exist in the sim anymore. Ah. I see. You're a Thomas Cook 757 for me.
Great, I'm a Thomas Cook 757 at like 5 FPS. What the frick is wrong with this plane? God, what a shitty aircraft.
Alright, let's get out of here. Now that we're live everywhere, let's get up in the air. Then we'll talk about YouTube again once we get up to cruise. Because the people that needed to hear me talk about YouTube weren't watching because I didn't start the YouTube stream. Shame.
Was the error really the ground power connector? Are you kidding me? That was the freaking FPS error, the ground power connector?
Really?
It said reset ground power connector and it fixed it. I'm getting 20, 30 FPS.
Alright.
Holding short.
Throttle's 40-ish. Yoke cam coming on. Off the brakes. And toga. Listen to those engines purr. Whew. 80 knots. V1.
Yeah, yes, died.
Rotate. Gear up. It's a 757 climb rate for you. Start our acceleration here.
Right.
Flaps coming up to 1. And flaps up.
Roger, I'm going.
Roger, climbing through 2,500. In the rain, because X-Plane 11, or X-Plane 12. .757 is such a nimble plane. You just like barely move the yoke and it turns. Alright, autopilot coming on. I'll jump you back over to the screen. Ortho is looking fantastic here in the UK. FPS, not so great, but only so much I can do about that.
Marbo, confirmed.
That's X-Plane for you.
This FlightFactor's fault.
Actually,
Why is FlightFactor stalling the plane? Hello?
put on the Shade X in a little bit better colors. There we go.
Even FlightFactor stalls my plane.
Floor it.
Nah, the autopilot's got it. Yo.
And this climb rate is crazy. I cannot wait until we get a 757 from MSFS. Look at that. We're zooming, boys. We're zooming. Why are we stopping the zoom? Oh, I bet we have an altitude restriction. Let me delete that real quick.
Alright, up and away.
Keep that climb going.
Alright, plane's cruising.
Finally bought the MD-80 and MD-11 for X-Plane 12. They probably never fly either of them. I'll tell you what, the MD-80, it can be a challenge, but it's rewarding. You treat it right. This is, I guess, the same goes with the MD-11. It's very similar the way they operate. They're both McDonnell Douglas. The MD-11 is good. The Rotate MD-80 I haven't flown in probably 4 years, 3 years. Since 2020. Want a good DC-9 for X-Plane 12? There was one for X-Plane 11 that was free. I have no idea if it's still around or not. Be nice to have some older jets like that though. Everybody likes their new magenta lines.
Alright.
Just got your 7-Eleven. Like the gas station 7-Eleven? That's how they spell that, right? How do you like it? The 7-Elevens we have around here are not great. But, oh, you got your 7-Eleven order. What'd you get? Some snacks? Yeah, the 7-Elevens we have around here are not great, but we also have Quick Trip, which is the best gas station. Quick Trip with a Q, not Quick Trip with a K.
Compare me.
Roger. But when I was in Daytona, the 7-Elevens down there are fantastic in Florida. Quick Trip, never heard of it. Let me enlighten you. Is this gonna show my location if I... Yep. All right, let's take a tour of Quick Trip. Because you're used to the city. I mean, yeah, I don't think there's no Quick Trips out in DC. They're all over the place here in the Midwest. Let's see here. You go inside, boom, you got... Oh, come on. Jesus. Boom, right? This is not even like publicity. This is literally what they look like on the inside. You got your coffee, you got your fresh brewed tea, your drinks and everything, all these snacks. The donuts, dude, at Quick Trip, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. But then, right, the donuts aren't even it. You got the Quick Trip kitchen, right? You go up there, you order yourself a sub, you can order yourself a bowl, you can order yourself a pizza. They make it right there for you. Boom, get out of here. You got your food, go, right? And it is fantastic. Like these, the subs at Quick Trip are, in my opinion, they're better than Subway. They use much better ingredients, everything like that. Speaking of Subway, yesterday you learned never go through a Subway drive-thru. Order custom. You can order... Subway has drive-thrus? I've never seen a Subway with a drive-thru. Yeah, these are like the cream of the crop gas stations. They are fantastic. It's like a religion here in the Midwest. We got Quick Trip, and then we also have Casey's. Do you have Casey's in DC? I don't know how big Casey's is. I think Casey's is Midwest as well. Casey's is pretty much the same thing, although I think Quick Trips are generally a little nicer. But it's still like you got the kitchen there and everything. You can go in while you're pumping gas and order yourself a pizza. They're known for their pizza. But you can go in there and order yourself a pizza. They got, you know, loads of snacks and everything on the inside. Got the Casey's kitchen. Get yourself a sub, get yourself some, biscuits and gravy in the morning. They'll hand make it for you. And everything like that. I prefer Quick Trip though. But no, the 7-Eleven in Florida I went to was so like premium. I was blown away. DC had it graffiti. I don't see. They're in pretty shoddy parts of town too. Here, they're Quick Trip is from Tulsa, Oklahoma. And Tulsa, Oklahoma is not a very great town. So, but the Quick Trips I went to in Tulsa when we were down there, they kept them really clean. So it may just be a matter of like Quick Trip is extremely particular about keeping their shit clean, if you know what I mean. iSpec Tech, what's going on, dude? Hello from the UK. Quick Trip and Casey's look nice. We need them over here. Gotta share the gifts of the Midwest United States with the world. Some pizza, some soft drinks, some donuts. We'll get you hooked up. I hope you're doing great, man. My legs started cramping. Hold on. Let's see, the one near your house does, and it was a nightmare. 8 subways near you have a drive-thru. I've never seen a subway with a drive-thru. That is strange to me, but apparently normal for where you're at. iSpec Tech, thank you for the follow, man. Welcome to the Toga Troop. Hope you are doing great. Hope I'm not making you too hungry with showing you Quick Trip and Casey's. Let's see, when you were driving back from Florida, you saw, I took the road back, saw Buc-ee's. Oh man, Missouri just got a Buc-ee's, but it's in like the very south of the state by like Springfield, I think. It's like probably a 4-hour drive, and I want a road trip down there just to go to Buc-ee's. We saw one in Florida. We didn't get to go to it, but man, it's such a gigantic. It's like a superstore as a gas station. It's crazy. I was blown away. I was like, I don't even know what to do with myself. You go in there, you get like, oh, what's their, it's brisket, right? They make the fresh brisket. Buc-ee's brisket? I think they're known for like the brisket. It's gotta be. Yeah, because they have like the giant ass kitchen thing in the middle.
Wake me up when we hit top of the descent.
Roger. Man, I want to go to Buc-ee's. You got Swedish fish and Ritz. Hell yeah. There you go. That's a snack right there. I hate you, fire. The thing that makes it even worse is like if you barely touch the yoke. If you barely touch the yoke in the FlightFactor planes, it disconnects the autopilot. OBS is being a bitch right now. What's it doing? What's up, Beijing? It's not detecting FSX. If you go... Hold on, Streamception is happening, I'm sorry. Actually, it may not need to. If you go into game capture, right? Are you doing capture a specific window? So then you can go through and do a screen capture for a specific window. If that doesn't work, try any full screen application. And then run Microsoft Flight Simulator in or FSX in full. I think you can do full screen mode in FSX. Let's see if that'll work. If you do just capture any full screen application. If that doesn't work, I don't know then. You may just have to do a display capture or something. Because I've had to mess around before with trying to get it to capture a specific window where it just doesn't show up. That's the major reason why nowadays I use display capture, but I know that's not an option for everybody because it can be pretty performance intensive. Alright, I want to see if I can find this FlightFactor 777 thing they did. Would it be Twitter? Probably not. Fire, if you're still around, where did you see the FlightFactor thing? FlightFactor Arrow, maybe? Let's see. Xplane forums. FlightFactor 777. FlightFactor forums, maybe. Here we go. Oh, here we go. Hi guys, I personally have been away in the US for 2 weeks. That is why I was so quiet. I'm back at the computer, work didn't stop though. We are done terrain radar and lateral navigation to a point where we think they're good enough for beta. Now we are considering faster beta with less features included versus a but later beta with more features. What do you think? For example's sake, what about a beta with no vertical guidance from the FMS at all? What have they been doing? Go for a faster beta. Going with a faster beta release with fewer features, like leaving out... What is this, DCS, where we're going to release stuff in early access for 7 years before we finish it? No. It's necessary for vertical guidance and performance calculators. Yeah, for a 777, 100%. See, with all due respect, this cannot be something we hear from a studio such as yours. Not to mention the fact that VNav is and will be important for the type of flying this plane does every day. But the fact that you are considering releasing a plane at full price without all the features you promised for an open beta is absolutely ridiculous. I don't have an issue with an open beta, and my plan was to buy your plane in an open beta state. But with such features missing, you need to reconsider your priorities in the project. Instead of going for nitpicks early on with maintenance and then not being able to deliver an estimate on that expired 1.5 months ago, and now coming up with this plan of not... Yeah, because didn't they say that they were going to release it soon? Like a month and a half ago? 2 months ago? As such, it's no doubt that I would rather have a functioning VNav previous to the open data. Don't take my words personally, but I really hope you reconsider the direction of this project. Should beta with a fully functioning plane system, just like it says VNav is a basic feature. VNav will be there, and there's no reason why it couldn't be released a few weeks after the first beta. Well, then just release the beta after it's already in the plane. On the bright side, though, I'm not going to be buying this 777. I'm going to buy the PMDG one. So, I will know that I have VNav when it comes out. so ridiculous. The person who was complaining about it is right, though. I mean, even when it comes to like me and the planes that I buy, it's not so much buying a plane in open beta that's the problem. It's I want a feature complete product in open beta. That's the problem. I think it needs to be feature complete when it goes into beta. It's like the F-15 DCS. Razbam released it with like 2 options for bombs. See if there's any update with Razbam. I'd be surprised. No, none yet. Don't worry, the cockpit will be added later. Exactly. Exactly. Let's see if there's any, nothing new in the, rule violations Discord. People requesting to shoot somebody down. Hilarious. So, Active Sky got released from Microsoft Flight Simulator, but it's going to be using the same... It sounds to me like it's using the same system that it always has. Which means, for my use case... The default weather is better than Active Sky, so I don't think I'm gonna get Active Sky. And I guess they gotta get something out there, right? But seems like an interesting choice to release it a couple months before Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 will likely come out. Other thing I saw that's interesting is Orbix is making a DCS map. So this will be a another map I can buy that I'm never going to use. That's going to destroy my FPS. Should be fun. It would not have killed you to include a few teasers of the actual map. IL-2 released an update. Is IL-2 on sale yet? They say good things come to those who wait. Well, I waited and it wasn't worth it. I love Maverick. Does the default weather have any benefits over Active Sky? So do your own research because I'm not an expert, but the way I understand it is they're going to pull weather from different sources. So Microsoft Flight Simulator uses NOAA, I think. Source. Meteo Blue. It's Chris. So I guess it depends on where Meteo Blue gets their weather. But the Active Sky goes based off of METARs. So the real benefit for Active Sky, because the default real world weather in Microsoft Flight Simulator is realistic. It's the real world weather. One of the big features is historical weather, so you can go back in time to see what the weather is. If you want to go fly around in Hurricane Katrina, you can go do that, for example. There's also direct integration with like PMDG or whatever. One of the things I've seen is that Active Sky is better in places that Microsoft has trouble getting the real world weather for. So like places in Africa or in South America where there isn't as much of a source for Microsoft to pull the real world weather from like there is in the United States or in Europe, Australia, those places. But also the way that Active Sky loads weather in. I'm not using Active Sky in XPlane, but I used to, and it just like pops weather in. It's like there's clouds, and then the weather updates and the clouds all disappear. Just like that. If I remember right, it was a similar thing in P3D when I was using Active Sky then. So I haven't seen anything that they've addressed the smoothness. Wow. I haven't seen anything that they've addressed the smoothness of the weather. So for my use case, which is just flying around, the default weather is going to work fine for me. It's also an interesting move to release this, what, 4 or 5 months before we're probably getting MSFS 2024. So I don't know. To each their own though. Like if you go and look into it, like I said, I'm not an expert. But if you go read into it and you're like, oh yeah, this sounds pretty good to me, go for it. I said it's 23 euros. Is that what that is? It's not pounds. 33 European dollars. I don't know. For my use case, I'm not gonna. It doesn't really provide me any benefit because I don't fly around with historical weather. Turbulence, I use RealTurb. That takes care of the thermals and wake turbulence as well. Enhanced Cloudscape is, I don't know how big of a deal that is because we're going to be getting that in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 anyway. They're redoing the way weather is depicted, so we're going to have thunderstorms and stuff like that. So, I don't know. But if that's it, like I said, if you read into it and it's something you like, go for it. I think Chewy was streaming with Active Sky today. That's what Fire said. So you could check out his stream and see what it looks like. Probably buy it once you get a job. There you go. P3D V6 Active Sky. What do you know? You can fly around in Active Sky with your shitty simulator, but at least you'll have real world weather. Speaking of shitty simulators, what is this FPS right now? Gonna disconnect. Should have used flight gear. Flight Sim World is where it's at, brother. Should have used Flight Sim World. SCQM approach. What's going on, man? How you doing? I'm going to Google to figure out what airport that is. Man, I don't speak Spanish. Mariscal Sucre International Airport. Mariscal Sucre? Pichincha, Ecuador? Am I saying that right? Quito approach. I'll remember that. Quito approach. I'm doing all right. Doing a DHL hop. The 7.5. And we're gonna jump over for some shenanigans and DCS. But overall, it's been a pretty good day. Had stupid bullshit work training that I had to do that didn't apply to us, but we were the pilot program for it. So my mind was fried after that. So maybe it was a bad day and I'm just not comprehending it because my mind is fucking toasted. But overall, had a great day. Hate how little VOR there are. Yeah, the VORs in Europe have been pretty much retired. They're pretty much done. We're getting away from those clouds. We should have some better FPS. Make sure there's no ATC popping up, and there is not. Try to stay on top of that. SIGs over vape. Oh, factor not. Neither. Don't do either, because you'll end up with a crippling addiction. However, I guess so. It's more, we know how bad cigarettes are, right? Yeah, we know they cause cancer, kill your lungs, kill your brain, kill your heart, etc., etc., etc. We don't know that about vaping, so it's kind of hard to pick. I haven't been around long enough to know, but don't do either. Stay addiction free. I'd say with the current knowledge of what we know, probably vaping is healthier, but that doesn't mean it's healthy. Don't take that as what I'm saying. But a lot of the chemicals, a lot of the carcinogens, I think actually all of the carcinogens and tars that are in cigarettes are not in vape juice. But that doesn't mean there's not effects that we don't know about, if that makes sense. I'd like to inhale jet fuel. There you go. That's there. Inhale jet fuel. That's the safe alternative. That was a joke, YouTube. Smoked for 3 years now. I never smoked, but when there was like that 5-second vaping is cool thing, I tried it. And I fucking regret it. It was a terrible idea. It's a habit I need to break sooner rather than later. But I'll cross that bridge someday. I was a impressionable teenager. That's what happened. The first step is to admit, yeah, that's for true. In order to fix a problem, you have to realize that you have a problem to begin with. It's a thing what they talk about with different people who are like alcoholics or addicted to hard drugs is if the person doesn't recognize that they have a problem, you can't fix the problem. It all starts with recognizing that you have the problem in the first place. Me personally, I've tried to kick vaping twice, and neither time I could follow through with it. But they were both kind of predicated on, like, one of the times it was like, I'm depressed, I should probably stop vaping, and that's not a really solid foundation to go through that with. And then the other time I read a book and I was like, yeah, I'm done. And the same thing, like, it's not a very solid foundation to go through that journey on. But eventually I need to stop. But like I said, that's not a right now issue for me. Just eventually I need to do it. Need to just kick it. All get addicted to something when we're young and dumb. Listen, right? The mantra I live by: pick your poison and take care of yourself in all other ways. I don't really drink. Like, I'll drink socially every once in a while when I go to a family gathering. But I don't drink. I try to eat fairly healthy. Like, I mean, I got a little tummy on me. Everybody does. Let's be real. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of tummy. But I try to eat fairly healthy. This is not a brag about healthy thing, but 1 Dr. Pepper a day. Listen, there's a lady who lived to be like 102 or something. She said the secret to living forever was a Dr. Pepper a day. So I'm doing well on that. But I don't chug a lot of soda. I drink a ton of water. So I got the one vice, but I try to take care of myself in other ways. Like, as it gets warmer outside, I'm going to start going on walks with my dog a lot more. This apartment complex has a gym that I can use. I just haven't taken advantage of it yet, but that's a goal of something I want to do. Work out a little bit more. So I mean, can't it's just shit happens. There you go. Shit happens. That's the best way to describe it. What is this garbage FPS? It's XPlane, brother. FlightFactor. FlightFactor. Hey, look at it this way. The 777 is gonna have fantastic. Excuse me. 777 is gonna have fantastic FPS because none of the systems are gonna be implemented when it comes out. So there you go. Finally, a FlightFactor plane that has decent FPS. One 2-liter a day is healthy too. I don't know about that. I think my girlfriend's dad drinks a lot more, to be fair, diet soda, but a lot more soda than I do. One of the things is, oh, you're talking about water. Say, I don't think a 2-liter soda is healthy. Yeah, I have this, a Walla water bottle. Probably drink 4 or 5 of these a day. I could drink a ton of water. Yeah. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. It just completely gone from my brain. Drink about 1.5 liter of root beer a day. To each their own. I mean, listen, to each their own. One of the problems we have in the United States is if you look at food that's not in the US, go to any you go to any other developed country in the world. Well, actually, probably most other countries in the world. Because if it's not a developed country, they're going to be eating more natural food because they won't have processed food like we do. One of the problems with the United States is all of our food is processed, right? So you look on like the back, the only example I have is Dr. Pepper, but like water, high fructose corn syrup, caramel color, phosphoric acid, sodium benzoate, which is a preservative. If you look at any ingredients on the back of your food, like this is something I tried to start doing because I'll try to buy stuff that only has ingredients that like I would use if I was making the thing. So like peanut butter, for example. What do you think would go in peanut butter? I was looking at this in the kitchen. You got peanuts, you got molasses, you got salt, sugar, you have a vegetable oil. That's pretty much it. But I've seen in stores where it'll be like peanut butter that has like 70 ingredients on the back, and most of it is just all preservatives and stuff. And that's a thing in the United States that a lot of other countries don't have. Like I've seen like France and Germany, for example, they have different regulations that regulate what kind of preservatives and what kind of processing can go into foods. And then like soda and our drink sizes and everything here in the US are so much bigger than everywhere else in the world. So one of the things I'm trying to do in my having a vice but trying to take care of myself in other ways is I'm trying to be more conscientious about what's in the food I'm getting. So just like, so I know, like if I pick up a loaf of bread and it has 70 ingredients, it's like, probably don't want this Wonder Bread. You know what I mean? Our AIM-54s keep missing because DCS AI immediately chaffs when we hit flare. Really? That's stupid. Do you want to try out contention fire? We can't use AIM-54s, but we can fly the F-14. Use Sparrows. I was watching some people fly contention. It looked really fun. Switzerland also has a lot of limitations. Yeah, that's one of the things I wish. I'm generally a pretty small government person, but there's certain things like I think the food industry needs to be a lot more regulated in the United States. We're literally killing ourselves. There's really bad lag on that server. Oh, damn. Over here, peanut butter is often 96% peanuts. Yeah. But, no, it's just like going through ingredients and looking like, okay, I want some chips. Some salt and vinegar potato chips. What do you think would be in salt and vinegar potato chips? If you were to make them, what would you do? You'd probably have potatoes. You'd probably have some kind of vegetable oil to fry them. And then you have salt and vinegar. And the salt and vinegar potato chips I got today, that's all that's in them. Is potatoes, vegetable oil, salt, vinegar. Boom. Versus Lay's, I know has a whole bunch of shit in their stuff. And a lot of other brands do too. Again, at least here in the United States, because a lot of brands like, what was it? Skittles, I think, can't sell. Is it in Germany that they can't sell the same Skittles because they can't put food coloring in them or something? There's somewhere where it's the case. It's not Germany. Oh, California is banning the red food coloring. Ban chemicals in popular rainbow candies and processed foods, including Skittles, Nerds, Hot Tamales, cake icing, and strawberry Nesquik. Any food product in the state containing red dye number 3, titanium dioxide, potassium bromate, bromated vegetable oil, or propyl paraben, arguing that those chemicals are dangerous and already banned in the European Union and other countries. Exactly, like when you're going through this, you're like, if you were making candy, what the fuck, where would you even go buy potassium bromate to put in your candy? Or titanium dioxide? So, I don't know. The EU has banned it. European Food Safety Authority said it could not exclude the possibility the additive could lead to carcinogenic effects. The agency noted that assessment showed after oral ingestion, the absorption of titanium dioxide particles is low, however they can accumulate in the body. However, the FDA says it can be safely used for coloring foods. So, we need to put in an arrival. Did I really put in Frankfurt as the arrival airport? Oh, Jesus. This is going to be all sorts of messed up, isn't it? Hold on. Okay. 26 right. Lofto. Then we got Koj 1 Victor. Kojo 1 Victor. No transition. Put that in. Grab Kojak. Put it with this Kojak. Okay. Grab this and put it with that then. There we go. We're coming up on top of descents. Sweet. That's set up. Awesome. Fun fact, Lay's is called Walkers, and it's crisps, not chips. Listen. Listen. Actually, though, wasn't Walkers a brand, and then Lay's bought them out? I thought I read somewhere that, like, Walkers... They, British snack food manufacturer. 1980s, prior to the 1950s, crisps were sold without flavor. Walker's logo. Say Frito-Lay owns them. Kansas City, Kansas. The disgusting little brother of Kansas City, Missouri. For the longest time, a local snack company called Guys was owned by Frito-Lay. And then Frito-Lay sold them to another company. So I was looking into that. That's where I saw Walkers. I think Walkers existed before Frito-Lay acquired them. Which is why, like, for example, in, you guys know Panera Bread. In St. Louis, Panera Bread is the St. Louis Bread Company. It's the same company, it's a different name though. Just kidding, they changed the names to Panera last year. I will argue with you that it's chips. It's not crisps. Get out of here. Fucking crisps, mate. I will die on that hill. Alright, should be ascending soon. Anytime now, anytime. There it goes. And should automatically descend. Yep, it's doing it. Sweet. So I think there is weather in Leipzig. We pop the weather on. We're in some rain right now, it looks like. Some storms. So maybe we can just beat it and land before the rain moves into Leipzig in that area. We should be moving faster than the weather is. You can also, if you're on Twitch, you can put in your predictions for the landing rate, !predict, and then whatever you think the landing rate's going to be. Probably want to do a negative number. What the fuck is this? Vertical profile. 5,700 feet above profile. Nice. Good job, FlightFactor. I appreciate you. Doing good. Why are you throttling up? Let's see, hold on. Atmos. Maybe flight level 154. We'll do flight level change. See if we can drop this and get back on profile. This is the problem I come across with a lot of the X-plane planes is I don't use X-plane a whole lot, so I forget some of the quirks and everything about them. Shut up, plane. It's fine. Listen, packages will not complain about the negative G's. It's okay. There we go. Are you happy, plane? Apparently not. I tried. Oh shit. Listen. The new Taylor Swift album is out. Kayla is gonna be a crazy person tomorrow. It's a Boeing, it's never happy. That's a fact. Shut up. Listen. Listen, you did this to yourself. You put me 5,000 feet above the vertical profile. So shut up. It's your fault. Boeing. How you doing, Red Leg? Hope you're having a great day. Yeah, for those of you that don't know, Kayla is a massive Swiftie, so I know what I'll be listening to when I get off work tomorrow. It's not my kind of music. I'm not a huge Swiftie myself. I don't hate Taylor Swift. I just don't listen to pop, really. Not my kind of thing. Alright, we're back on profile. Switching over to VNav. Hopefully the plane gets sorted. Bada bing, bada boom. Everything's looking up. Get our speed brake pulled in. We should be good. We're back on profile. What do I listen to? Ooh. All right. I listen to a little bit of country, but I'm very particular about the country I listen to. I don't like a lot of the mainstream stuff. Go like into my country playlist, most recent one. We got Tyler Childers, of course, Jamie Johnson, some Travis Tritt. I like more songs than just this one. This is just the one I have in here. John Pardee, Turnpike Troubadours, Cody Johnson. Sturgill Simpson is freaking awesome. Get some older ones like Waylon Jennings. There's a Brad Paisley song I really like. The Medicine Wheel is a really good one. And then I also like older country as well. Merle Haggard, Johnny Cash, etc. And then also we have... I'm into like metalcore as well. So like Crown the Empire. I just saw them live. They were great. So like a lot of the metalcore bands as well. Beartooth, Of Mice and Men, Crown the Empire. I went through a metalcore phase. And there's a lot of these bands I still like. Ice Nine Kills is fantastic. let's see, Swancore, like Dance Gavin Dance, Idola, Royal Coda, all those bands I'm into. Bill Murray is absolutely fantastic. Highly recommend. This is like elder emo perfection. Highly recommend Bill Murray. I'm all over the place, but I mean, it's easier for me to say what I don't listen to. Like, I don't really listen to rap. I don't really listen to pop. I don't really listen to EDM. I went through a small EDM phase, but I got bored of it really quickly. But other stuff, like even like classic rock, I'll jam out to. I was jamming out to like, I have this old DCS playlist I made years ago. It just has a bunch of like Top Gun-esque songs in it. I was jamming out to this today. There's even like some big band or jazz stuff that I like. Prog rock. I'm all over the place, but really my go-to is kind of it's either country or kind of like the alts, alternative heavy, like Bill Murray, Rain City Drive, or the Swancore, Dance Gavin Dance type band stuff, the proggy stuff. Starset is one that I really like as well. Starset's probably one of my absolute favorite bands. Their whole concept and everything, and their music is just super satisfying to listen to. New metal is still great. I agree. That's what got me into heavier music. Was like the new metal and post grunge stuff. Of Mice and Men is still awesome. I can't wait for them to go on like an actual like full tour again. I saw them live in 2018. And hi.
Right?
Yep. I'm at 12,000.
Copy.
I saw them live in 2018. They were great. Their vocalist, Aaron Pauley, is one of my favorites in metal. He's one of the OGs too. He was doing it before a lot of other people were doing it. Like Beartooth is a band I really like as well. And Caleb Shomo, who's the vocalist and the writer for that, he was part of the band that started metalcore. The first metalcore band. Alright, 10,000. Landing lights coming on. We are in the soup. The IFR is foggy. Drag required. Oh, I see. We're at 290 knots. Once again, good job, 757. You planned that one out really well. I closed Spotify and closed my music. I tell you what, I can't stand lo-fi most of the time, but that's all we can listen to on here since we're on YouTube. I never readdressed the YouTube thing now that I am actually live on YouTube. Listen, I'm not gonna be streaming on YouTube anymore. The reason why is all of my streams get copyright claims. As much as I try very hard to avoid playing music that I can be copyright claimed. Like what we're listening to right now, this is Stream Beats, which is allowed to be, you can stream it. That's what it is. But every stream I've done is copyright claimed. And I just got done not streaming on YouTube for a week because I had a copyright strike on lo-fi music, of all things. So I'm done playing the Russian roulette with the copyright system on YouTube. So I'm gonna be streaming just on Twitch, probably after this week. But that way it gives me a week to kind of tell everybody that, hey, this is it. However, on YouTube, with not streaming on YouTube anymore, I am going to start making consistent videos because I don't want to leave you guys hanging on YouTube. But for the live stream specifically, I'm going back to Twitch because I can do the cheat where it doesn't save the music and the VOD, so therefore you don't get copyright. There's less of a chance you have to deal with copyright. They can still copyright your stream while you're live, but that's a lot less likely to happen on Twitch. I know it kind of stinks if you watch on YouTube. I'm sorry. But, listen, you only get 3 copyright strikes and I've already burned one of them, so gotta do something to make sure the channel lasts a while. But yeah. That is that. I hate it, but we gotta do what we gotta do, you know? If the copyright system on YouTube wasn't broken as shit, then, this may not be an issue. But, unfortunately it is. And to be fair, I guess I was listening to copyrighted music. So I was using lo-fi ATC instead of, for sure, music that I can listen to. So, my fault, sure. Copyright strike level, though? I don't know. Considering there's not really any way I can dispute it. It's annoying. So, yeah, that is that. That is that. Alright, let's get the ILS plugged in. 111.3. 263. ILS is plugged in. Our decision height is going to be 200. Which is in there, just like we want it to be. We're still bumping around in the turbulence. TBH, haven't played Misfits in years. Played for years from 98 all the way to FSX. Made the usual worked for American, really fun. Nice. Yeah, I kind of my bread and butter is Microsoft Flight Simulator and X-Plane, but I've gotten back into DCS, so the DCS is going to be a thing on the channel again. It's been years, but the last time I did DCS, I went like all in, hardcore, super into it, and then got really bored of it and just like chucked it in the corner and didn't touch it for 3 years. But, I don't know, I'm trying to tone myself back where DCS isn't the only thing I do in every waking hour of my day. So, but, yeah, like, I don't know, something just super chill about Flight Sim. Super chill. Brake riding multiple types of aircraft. You were certified on the 737, the A320s, 75, E145, E175, MD-80. Whoo! Dang. I missed the MD-80. There's a Amerifreight. I think it's Amerifreight that has the cargo ones. Every once in a while it takes off in the downtown airport here, and you can tell it's an MD-80. Very distinctive sound. Like, man, I wish flying on I miss flying on that plane. A lot of people hated it, but I loved it.
So you get.
Yeah.
We should do American Truck Simulator again. They added lane keep assist.
Lane keep assist?
Yeah.
Well, that's gonna ruin all the fun, because then I can't be entertained by you crashing all the time.
Oh, don't worry, I still crash with it on though. So it doesn't help.
Worked the last day when 555 left New Orleans for Roswell. Yeah, I was on, I flew my dad works for American, and at the time I could still fly under his pass, so I flew, I think, 2 or 3 days before they retired them. I flew on the MD-80, just from Kansas City to Dallas to Kansas City. And that was the last day that they were flying them to Kansas City. So, when we landed back at Kansas City, I'll never forget. We're coming into land. We burst through the clouds on the approach, and there's like 7 or 8 cars on the highway. People out there with their cameras taking pictures. I was like, man, because American Airlines made a big deal about the MD-80 retirement, so everybody knew about it. Unlike Delta, who kind of did it more quiet, American made a huge deal about retiring the MD-80. That was kind of cool to see. 5 or 6 cars down there, people standing out, pulled over on the side of the highway taking pictures when we landed. And then like when we got to the gate, all the flight attendants and everything, they were like going into the cockpit and hanging out the window and getting their pictures taken and everything. It was kind of cool. Cramped, tiny cockpit. Something I'd noticed that about the MD-80, especially compared to like the A320. The A320 seems to have a huge cockpit compared to like the MD-80 or the 737. Man, seat 31A, right next to those engines. My favorite seat on the plane. I'd always go and ask the boarding, the gate agent if that seat was open. And like 9 times out of 10, she'd look at me like I'm crazy because I wanted that seat. There was like one time I would, there was one time, because, you know, you're flying standby, they call your name, you go up there, you get your ticket. And she's like, well, they have you in seat 31 something or other. And she was like, but a few rows up, there's an empty seat. If you want, I can move you up there. It'll be a little bit quieter. And I'm like, nope. I'm good in row 31. That's where I want to be. Airbus is your favorite to brake ride. Everything's so simple. That's a good thing for the pilots, though. As much as us flight simmers rail on the A320 being simple, that's a good thing for a flight crew because it's less they have to worry about. Say, in the sim, the A320 for me is kind of boring because you don't really have to do very much. But I figured I would think if I was a pilot IRL, I would want to fly an A320. Or any Airbus for that matter. What were you saying, Fire? Did you say something? Hello? Alright. Okay. Intercept at 3,000 for the ILS. So we'll swap to vertical speed. We'll start pulling our speed back. Probably like 1.7. How many miles out are we going to be? 12 miles? Yeah, 170. Prime the toilets during boarding. We needed to take jugs of the blue juice on. Oh my gosh, I need to tell you about the worst flight experience I'd ever had, which was also kind of cool, but it was the worst. So we're flying back from Dallas. MD-80. The flight was delayed for 4 hours, and this is at night. So the flight between Dallas and Kansas City is an hour and 10 minutes or so. Well, we were getting into Kansas City at like 3 a.m. Right? It was something broke on the plane. They fixed it, pushed it back. One of the systems failed, pulled it back in, and then there was a weather delay, which gave them time to fix what the problem was, which I don't remember what the problem was. But they said it was, I remember them saying it was something super simple to fix. So we got back on the plane, push back, take off, super late, fly, we're dodging storms the whole time. You look out the window and see lightning and everything. It was kind of cool. And then we get to Kansas City, we land, taxi up to the gate, and we're just sitting there. And it's like, we're sitting there for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, the engines are running. You know, like you pull it to the gate and you wait for the marshaller to come. So we're sitting there where you'd wait for the marshaller to come. Then the captain comes on the intercom. Everybody went home. There was no ground crew at the American gates. Everybody went home. So there was nobody to take the plane in. So it's like, all right. I am turning final.
As you were saying.
So, there's nobody there. What ends up happening is people from FedEx come over to bring the plane in. Because everybody went home. Then the jetway doesn't work. The jet bridge. So he comes back on. The jet bridge is broken. We're going to figure out what we're going to do. What's probably going to happen is they're going to push us back out and move us to the next gate over. So then that happens. Make a long story short, they ended up deboarding us through the stairs in the back, which is kind of cool. I ended up telling my dad about it, and my dad was like, "What the fuck?" For one of the things, it was an MD-80.
Oh, Omega lol.
So my dad was like, "What the fuck?" Because he worked ground crew for American for the longest time. He was like, then there's so many things that went wrong that shouldn't have happened. And I don't know of anything that came of it because at the time my dad wasn't worth the ground crew. But I don't know. It was kind of cool. Also really fucking annoying because by the time I got in the car to go home, it was like 6, 7 a.m. But I don't know. I don't know if just some massive miscommunication happened where they thought the flight was going to be canceled versus it actually took off, or something. It was, I don't know. By far the worst flight experience I've ever had, but also kind of cool because we got to deboard through the aft stairs. They bring you around, follow the leader to the terminal, go up the stairs, and boom, right next to the jet bridge.
You have to walk up the jet bridge?
No, there's stairs in the terminal that come up from the ramp at the old Kansas City airport.
You have to walk upstairs?
Yep. Go upstairs, and then you're in the main area where you would be if you had taken the jet bridge.
Alright, right turn, ready. Yeah. Oh yeah, about that freaking F-14. God damn it, what a stupid game, dude. But the issue with IL-2 is there's no clickable cockpit, so it's also a stupid game.
Yeah.
So basically we have to choose between two stupid games.
Well, for me,
would you like to choose that's stupid?
For me, it's choosing between one because I don't have IL-2. So.
The what? The MiG-21?
But you said choose between DCS and IL-2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's for me, it's DCS because I don't own IL-2.
But you could.
It's not on sale.
But it could be.
It could be, but it's not.
That's not.
Is that default XPlane 12 terrain? No, this is auto ortho. And Simhaven X World.
Or what we like to call problem ortho.
Problem ortho, yeah. It's like how track while scan in the F16 is actually track while lie.
Oh my god, that's in the F14 as well. I still don't understand.
Gotta get some rest. Catch your red leg. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you get a good night's sleep.
Behind you.
Or have a good night at least. Get some rest, and we'll catch you in the next one. Now you're in cruise. Nice, classic pilot. Nice. Cruising.
You're faster than 180 knots, right?
I'm 170.
Oh my god.
Haha, I got him.
God damn it. We're never gonna get slowing down.
Cruising 9,500. Nice. And once we get it down on the ground, I might change the weather and I'll zoom out a little bit so you can see the auto ortho a little bit better. But it still looks pretty good down here. Let's see the latest METAR. High spec coming in clutch. What we got here? Winds are 220 at 8, so landing runway 26 makes sense. Cavake, 5, QNH 1011. Tell you what, I forgot to set the QNH. It's a pretty common thing here. I apologize.
Haha, I would never do that. What did you say it was?
1011. Guys, do you guys see the QNH? I don't see the QNH on here.
I don't see QNH. Wait, where is it? Where is it? Holy shit! Was that it? Matcha?
About 34 more minutes to landing. Nice.
We have 34 minutes to landing?
Classic pilot does. We have 37.
Ah. We're just gonna be like your freaking MD-80 flight. And get back to the car at 7 a.m. at this rate.
Yeah, that was an experience. I didn't complain to American about it because I didn't pay for my ticket. Who am I to complain?
Do pilots get paid when they're on the ground?
Nope.
So this freaking going through the terminal bullshit is all unpaid?
Yep.
That's a terrible deal.
Get paid for flight hours, I believe. Same as flight attendants. Flight attendants weren't getting paid if they're on the ground.
Damn, son.
I do a third flight to 1961 Innsbruck. Nice. All right, 2,500, but we haven't intercepted the glide slope yet, so we'll put the gear down once we intercept the glide.
Well, we know when you're dropping below 170,
I'll let you know.
so I don't crash into it. Wait, which one are you taking?
Ooh, 26 right.
Roger. Same runway. Great.
Yep. Perfect. We planned that one out.
Uh-huh. Yep. No.
Formation landing.
Oh, I can just cancel the caution this whole time? God damn.
I figured you had already done that.
No, I didn't realize there was a cancel button.
Chat, what do you want to see more? Do you want to see the ortho without the weather so we can zoom out and take a look at the ortho, or do you want to try to do a replay? Now, a note with the replay is there's a good chance the sim will crash because this is XP12. But if we are able to do a replay, it's worth it because the replay system in XPlane is fantastic when it works.
Have a lap.
I'll leave it up to you guys.
Has the XP12 replay system ever worked?
No.
Yeah.
It's like 50-50 whether it's gonna work or whether it's gonna work or it's gonna crash the sim. Keep live weather? Okay. We'll do a replay then. We'll try to do a replay at least.
Crash it.
Yeah, auto ortho looks great. Sometimes Honestly, sometimes it looks better than Microsoft Flight Simulator Autogen. Not in, not yet. Not in, Europe. In Europe, the, auto ortho, or the ortho for MSFS is really good. But there's a few places like in the US where you can tell like, man, MSFS could never. Especially from high altitude, ortho looks really good. All right.
Me waiting for
Intercepted the glide. Gear coming down, slowing down. All right, 757. We're gonna approach at 135. Actually, we'll come in at 140. We'll go a little bit faster, just in case. Does it work for XPlane 11? It does, yes.
I'm using it on XPlane 11.
Yeah, Fire's using it on XPlane 11 right now. Auto Ortho does work on XPlane 11 and probably works better on XPlane 11 because XPlane 11 is a little less, jerry-rigged. Alright, full flaps. Auto brakes 1. Oh, spoilers were already armed. There we go. That's good. Sweet.
Alright, ultra.
Yoke cam coming on, and I will take control.
How the frick do you sit? Doesn't it like freaking punch into you when you like scoot forward?
Huh?
The yoke, when you like scoot forward, doesn't it like jab into your belly?
No.
Wow.
They designed the, I don't think this, I don't know. I don't have any issues, but I could totally see how there could be an issue there.
Yoke users, you know. Yokers.
You know. FPS is absolutely horrific right now. Holy crap. I have a tutorial link. Yeah, I'll see if I can find one. Get up, cocksuckers, it's all over.
That's what that is? Oh my god. Roger. Alright, I'm on the glide. Descending.
Get up, cocksuckers, it's all over. We had a rough couple of months.
My wind turbines are bugged out, so I have 6 blades on my wind turbines.
Oof. Well, hi. Continue.
Check.
Little rudder. Oh, too much rudder. Reverse.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
I've done better landings, I guess. It wasn't the worst. It wasn't the best, though. Take this turn off here. Minus 98, not bad. Well, you know, that's not bad, but I was kind of all over the place in the approach. Especially the touchdown with the wings going left and right. Alright, I have no idea where the hell DHL goes to here.
Okay. I'm landing behind you though.
We'll get stopped here.
Watch me get disconnected as I'm touching down or something.
Oh, you're not live, so shouldn't have to worry about that.
Yeah, Life will be back on Saturday.
Gotcha. I think that's what he said in his Discord.
No, I don't check that. Oh my god.
Discords, am I right? Lol. Who needs them? Also, join my Discord.
It's true. Keegan, take it away.
Alrighty, so Extra Life is a fire. Take it away.
Yeah, you're gonna need an extra life after my landing. Boeing went from making a 757 to making a plane with the doors that fall off.
Did you see that Boeing says they're going to have flying cars in production by 2030?
Pepe lab.
There's not a fucking chance.
In cooperation with Tesla.
There's no way. And also, if my only option for flying cars is Boeing, I'm not going to buy a flying car. Fuck that. Also, with flying cars, won't that mean I'll have to deal with the FAA whenever I want to go to Walmart or something?
Yeah.
Kansas City
We
Center.
don't care how light we land.
Kansas City Center, November 3443, requesting clearance from my apartment to Walmart. IFR.
What livery am I for you?
Regino Air? I don't know what Regino Air is, but all right, let's straight ahead. Works good to me. I think that's DHL on the other side of the airport, but I don't want to taxi all the way over there. Traffic. I know.
What? You get traffic one?
Yeah. Wouldn't even trust Boeing or Tesla, nor Tesla for a flying car. Fucking Tesla would be better. But honestly, Jim, who lives in the apartment above me, would make a better flying car than Boeing. Let's be real. Boeing's probably not a very high bar to beat right now. The problem with Boeing, as much as I love the MD-80 and the 717, Boeing is run right now by the same mentality that drove McDonnell Douglas into the ground. Their profits over engineering company, where Boeing used to be an engineering focused company. Apparently, also, I've read that Boeing is cleaning house right now. And a lot of the people that are getting cut are the old McDonnell Douglas people. So hopefully, Boeing's mentality changes. And they go back to being, the priority being engineering.
But
Making the absolute best products they can.
Yeah, they're gonna make new B-52s out of the old B-52s. They're gonna call them B-52 Maxes.
B-52 Maxes. Old Boeing is a million times better. That's a fact.
Dude, imagine they make the B-52 Max, and then like one day, some B-52 is just carrying the bombs, and the door just falls off. And one of the bombs just gets released. And
You want-
Boeing's like, oops,
Oops.
I accidentally bombed
Listen,
some random farm in the middle of nowhere.
you want to know how good Boeing used to be?
Uh-huh.
757-200. Look at this plane, right?
God damn it. Yeah.
This plane is old. Like 80s, right? I think it was built in the 80s. Airlines refuse to get rid of them. Delta Airlines has the best maintenance ops in the world with the explicit goal of keeping the 757 flying. That is the reason why Delta has such a huge maintenance ops program. Why they're like #1 for maintenance. Why? Because this plane fills a niche that no other plane could fill. Boeing could have held on to that niche by re-engineering the 757.
Re-engineer.
Could have had a 757 Max, right? Held onto that niche that the 757 serves, which is the very low density long range routes, like for example from Newark, New Jersey. I know this is United, but Newark, New Jersey to Dublin. Those kind of routes. No, instead they let the niche completely fade away, and now Airbus is going to fill that niche with the A321 XLR. The A321 XLR is to replace the 757. That's the whole reason it exists. What's Boeing's answer? The 737 MAX 10. We can see how well that's going. Trying to force the 737 to do something that it was never designed to do, which is be a long-range, narrow-body aircraft.
Do you have a speed tape on your PFD? Or do you just have the freaking...
Yep.
Oh.
Alright, let's disconnect from VATSIM and try to do a replay. We'll see what happens. I'm down for the F-14. If not, I'll probably fly the F-18.
Okay. Good.
But I'm good for either. Remember
International, where we slam it down.
in
Mike wants to make corporate airlines.
early 2000s here, we had a lot of 732s. The 732s had their fair share of problems as well.
The fuselage blew up on one of them.
The fuselage blew up on one of them, but the bigger issue was the rudder would jam because of the screw in it. But the difference between that and what's going on with the Maxes is Boeing figured out what it was and they fixed it. If not for the 737 classics, like the 200s, they fixed it for the NGs, which are the most successful 737s, period. Modern Boeing could never. That's the replay. Fucking love XPlane 12 sometimes. Google Icaro B737. I also need to find that link for an auto ortho tutorial. Icaro 737. You can hear me? Okay. Ooh, that's a nice looking livery. Was there a crash that happened or something? Is it just the livery? That is a fantastic looking livery. But no, they re-engined the 777. The 777X is what it's called, and it is filled with a load of problems and delays. Of course. Of course, right? That's modern Boeing for you. Yeah, we got this livery, which looks fantastic. I also like this one as well, the orange. I almost like this this one better. But this orange livery looks fantastic as well. But let me see if I can find you a auto ortho tutorial. So ortho explain 11. So what did I use? May have been this guy. The major thing to look out for.
Today I'm going to be showing you how to install auto ortho for XPlane 12 and 11.
Okay. I'll send you this video. When you go to auto ortho, you go in here, blah, 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 whatever. Let's see, the GitHub is where I want to go. Here we go. I'm gonna send you this link as well. The important thing is follow these instructions. If the video is slightly different, because there's been updates to auto ortho since this video came out, this video will walk you through the general how to do it. But in this page, follow these instructions. So if this page is different from the video, do what this page says. I learned that the hard way. And then once you get into the program, you have to set where you want the auto ortho to install. You have to set your xplane directory. You can set an image cache folder as well. But do what the web page where you download it says over what the video says. But the video will still show you generally how to do it. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Let me close out those. No face cam for DCS. But I'll pop over to face cam for a second. And get things updated. YouTube, listen, it's been real. If you want to watch DCS, hop over to twitch.tv/KeeganToga. And I'll be streaming some DCS over there. Shooting some stuff down, or getting shot down, one of the two. I can guarantee one of those two things will happen.
Right.
Yeah, YouTube, we'll see you later. Thanks for hanging out. And don't forget that this is the last week of streaming on YouTube because I don't want to play copyright Russian roulette. So you should go to twitch.tv/KeeganToga anyway. Follow on there. All right, YouTube. We'll see you.